So the French Open has reached its second week, and a lot of exciting matches have already happened. So let's discuss the highlights of week one, the French Open. Let's see what we have for the agenda today. So we'll discuss about Federer's withdrawal. Was it a right decision or not? We'll discuss about Djokovic's form. Is he playing that well that he can beat Nadal at the French Open or not? We'll also discuss about Nadal, how he is playing in this tournament and can he win his 21st Grand Slam easily or not. We'll also discuss about the difference in the conditions between the day and night sessions and whether it really impacts Nadal's game or not. We will understand and know more about Lorenzo Musetti. I think many of you would have seen him for the first time. He's a young player, so we'll discuss about him as well. And then we'll see the quarterfinal lineup and do some predictions. Okay, so let's start. Let's start with Federer's withdrawal. So, was it a right decision or not? Now, there are two different opinions to this. One is yes, it was a right decision because he has just come from two surgeries, and we all know that his priority is Wimbledon by all means. And he has already said that he's not playing his best tennis at the moment. He's still recovering, he's still getting the practice, and he needs to train more. So I think if even if he would have not played French Open at all, that would also have been a good decision because we all know that it would have been difficult for him to beat Djokovic and Nadal in the French Open anyway. But he doesn't think like that, and he wanted to play out there. He wanted to play in the French Open. He wanted to get some matches under his belt, and that's why he opted to play the French Open. And because his third round match was not easy, it was tough, it was physically challenging. I think it was his right and a correct decision to withdraw, even though some of the neutrals might believe that it's a form of disrespect to the Grand Slam, as he is withdrawing even without an injury. And but if any other player would have done that, yes, it would have been disrespect. But for Federer, we give him some respite because he's 40 years of age and he would have easily skipped the French Open completely. But the fans still want him to play. So even if he turns up for one match or two matches, I think that is still going to be loved by the fans. And I don't think he would have done it if Wimbledon was not there around the corner. But because his main priority is Wimbledon, I think it was a good decision in the end to rest his body and make sure he's completely fit and ready for Wimbledon. I think his decision, even in the last 2 3 years, I think it was 2017 again where he had skipped the French Open. It proved to be a good decision in the end because he was fit and he was able to win the Wimbledon. And this time around, even if he would have not have skipped, even if he would have played, I don't think he was in such a good form that he would have been able to beat Djokovic or Nadal, because both of those players are playing really well at this tournament, and Federer is still struggling with this form. We saw him miss a lot of forehands during his three matches, and his movement was also restricted, and he was not that comfortable or confident in his movement. The reason being, of course, that he's coming back from an injury and from two surgeries, and because overall in his career he hasn't had these many injuries, so it's new for him, and it will be difficult for him to come back to his best than any other player like Nadal or Djokovic, because they have had their share of injuries during their careers, and they know better how to come back after an injury and still play their best. But full credit to Federer to come back still at this age where most of his competitors or his colleagues have retired from tennis. Some of them have become commentators, some of them are have become good coaches. So Federer at this age, if he's still trying to compete, if he's still trying to play well, I think it shows his dedication towards the sport, and it's a good decision that he wants to play his best at Wimbledon, because let's face the fact, everybody knows that Federer's best chance to win another Grand Slam is Wimbledon. So I think he should try everything to do that, and in the end, I think it's a good decision. On in Wimbledon, the surface will be quick, the bounce will be low, and Federer's serve and game, the aggressive style play will definitely help him, perform better. So now let's see the next topic that we have, which is what is wrong with Djokovic's form. So we know that yesterday, Musetti, a young player, a great talent, played his best tennis and was almost, very close of upsetting Djokovic. But it's not that Djokovic is playing his best tennis though, and that is what is a big concern, because he's so close to reach the Grand Slam 20 mark alongside Nadal and Federer, and he's just two Grand Slams away. But his form is not that good lately, and in recent years, even I've discussed this a lot of times, that on in the French Open he's not playing that well. Maybe it's the movement, maybe it's the timing, whatever it is, but he is not able to play his best tennis, which he used to play in the years 2000 and 12 to 2016. He played really well, and it never looked like he was struggling for form or anything like that, on clay specifically. But in the last 2 or 3 years, whether it is against Zverev or against Thiem, some of the matches he has looked really out of sorts, and he is not playing that aggressive as he should play on clay. Even yesterday, he gave too many chances to Musetti to dictate the play in the beginning of the match. If you see the first 3 or 4 games, Musetti was hitting a lot of short balls, and Djokovic in his prime would have just killed those balls in the beginning and won a lot of free points. But he was not able to do so. He was hitting with a lot of topspin, but yet he was not trying to finish the point, and that is what is a big concern, because when he goes ahead and plays against the likes of Nadal or Thiem or Zverev, then those guys would try to be aggressive, would try to finish the point, and if Djokovic allows them to do that, then it will be really difficult for him to win those matches. And that is what we have seen in the last 2 or 3 years. If you talk about his matches against Dominic Thiem in the French Open, if you talk about his matches against Zverev, even against Tsitsipas in one of the night sessions, I think a couple of years back, you would understand that Djokovic is not playing that aggressive. So he's giving chances to the other players to attack. And because he's struggling with his movement on clay as compared to the other surfaces where his movement is really brisk, quick, and quite smooth, on clay he seems to struggle with the timing and with the movement. And because he's not playing aggressive, he is opening that that side. He's being vulnerable to other players. So if the other players can attack, if they can come to the net, finish the point, then they can actually beat Djokovic in the French Open. But regardless, I think because he's one of the goats, uh, he knows from his experience how to win a match, even if he's not playing well. And that is what happened yesterday. Musetti was all over the court. He was playing brilliant tennis, amazing tennis, but yet Djokovic was able to come back after the two-set deficit. And because Musetti is a young player, we all knew that he would not be able to continue his level for that long period of time, and Djokovic was able to come back and he was able to win. But if Djokovic wants to progress well, in this tournament, because the next round for Djokovic is Berrettini, who again is a very good player, so it will not be easy for Djokovic to beat him. And then, of course, we have semifinals with Nadal. So if Djokovic wants to win this tournament, I think he needs to really change his game plan. He needs to be more aggressive, and this is what we saw last year against Nadal. Nadal actually, I think he did some homework, and Nadal knew that Djokovic will try to play aggressive. So Nadal was aggressive himself from the beginning, and he was not able to He didn't give any chances to Djokovic to, he didn't allow Djokovic to play his game, and that is why he was able to beat Djokovic in the last year's final. So Djokovic needs to really be aggressive and work on his movement. He's not completely in good form at this moment, but still, I think if he continues to play well, he might be able to win the match, and he might also be able to win the quarterfinals. But semifinals, I would still go with Nadal. And let's now talk about Nadal's form for a bit, because I think Nadal is also playing really well and he's completely in form. And if you saw the last match yesterday between Nadal and Sinner, now Sinner played a really good match. The conditions were quick. It was daytime, so the ball was bouncing high, the ball was moving faster through the court, and he was hitting with a lot of power, Sinner. If you compare his speeds with that of with those of Nadal's, I think Sinner was hitting really well. He was serving for the set at 5-4, and he was also serving for the set in Rome a few months back. And also last year he had played a good match initially against Nadal at the French Open, but he was not able to convert. Now this is where Nadal's mental strength comes into play. He knows that the opponent is playing well, but he just goes into a zone and he doesn't give any points away. And of course, if you're playing against Nadal, there will be nerves when you're trying to serve for the set, because Nadal doesn't give any free point. You have to earn the set, and that is what happened. From 5-3 up, Sinner lost the set 5-7. And then once you give the first set to Nadal, it's really difficult for any player, even when the player is of the caliber of Djokovic or Federer. It's really difficult for them to come back after losing the first set. And when you lose the first set, you saw yesterday Nadal, opened his arms and he was just trying to go for big shots. He was trying to hit a variety of shots, different shots, and in the third set he was just completely dominant and was able to win 6 love. So it's really difficult for anybody to beat Nadal at this year's French Open. I think he's playing really well, and I would not be surprised if he's able to win his 21st Grand Slam. And then I think the GOAT debate will open again, and he will have a very strong case for himself. Now let's talk about the conditions in the day night matches. There is a difference in condition. Now the question is, will this impact uh, the other players who are trying to beat Nadal? The answer is no, because we have seen that last year, where most of the matches were played under lights and under the roof, but still Nadal was able to beat even Djokovic. But if you talk about conditions, yes, there is a difference in the day. During the day conditions, the temperature is high, the conditions are hot, so the ball bounces more. The ball also moves faster through the court. Now one would say that is good for an aggressive player. Yes, that is good, but then the downside is, because the conditions are hot, you need to be able to play at the same level for 3 or 4 hours at a stretch. And in that conditions, in those conditions, it's really difficult. I think Nadal is used to it, so he can play for 5 hours, 6 hours. And because the court allows Nadal to stand way back behind the baseline to defend all the balls, and because it also gives Nadal a sting to his forehand, so that he can hit more loopy balls, more bouncy balls, then it's really difficult for the opponent to control. And if Nadal injects a little bit more speed, then these conditions actually work in Nadal's favor. So that is why you don't see anybody beating Nadal in these conditions. And whereas if you can compare them with the night conditions, the conditions are cooler. Yes, it's a bit heavy, the balls don't bounce that much, but again it depends on how the other player is playing. So if Nadal starts playing defensive, if he starts hitting the balls short, and if he's not in form, yes, definitely the other players will have a chance to beat Nadal. But usually Nadal is very good at adapting to the conditions. He knows that he needs to play extra aggressive, and that is what he did last year. And he knows how to finish the points quickly. And this is why if you see the last year statistics, you will see that the longer the rally went, Djokovic was actually winning those rallies and Nadal was not. But Nadal made it a point to keep the rallies short enough, under 10 shots, and under 10 shots, Nadal was winning most of the points. He was playing more aggressive, so he adapted to the situation. And this is what makes him really tough to beat because he knows how to play in a certain situation. Whereas the other players might struggle, might not have that variety, but Nadal has it. So that is why these conditions might not make a significant impact. But yes, there is a difference in these two conditions, and it can affect the player's performance. Now let's look at Lorenzo Musetti. So many of you would have seen him play for the first time, and he is actually a very young player. So it's not like he's coming all of a sudden into the picture. He's a young player. He's just 19 years of age. He's ranked 76 right now, and this was surprisingly his first Grand Slam appearance in the main draw. He did play last year's Australian Open, but he lost in the qualifiers and he did not make it to the main draw. But you all know that he's capable of winning some good matches. We saw yesterday how he performed against Djokovic. So he's quite young, and I think at this age, if he's able to perform so well against Djokovic, and if you see his game, I don't think there is any major weakness in his game. His variety was on the show yesterday. He had played a number of shots which most of the players are not able to do, especially against the likes of Djokovic. His movement was great. His single-handed backhand was awesome. He was able to control the high bouncing balls as well. He was able to flatten out the shots. He was also able to control his backhand, whether he was trying to go down the line or cross court. He was able to control it. He also has a good slice. He was able to use a pretty low slice against Djokovic. He was also able to come to the net. Although I would say, if you talk about his weaknesses, his serve is not that fast. It's not a big serve, but of course his kick serve is good, which is what is required on clay. So that is why we were not able to see it as a weakness. But yes, on other surfaces, maybe he needs to improve more on the speed and the power of his serve, and also his net game. Again, on clay, the net game, we are not able to see it, exposed that much. But yes, net game is required on in the Australian Open, in the US Open, and in Wimbledon. So that is definitely an area where Musetti needs to improve, and of course the fitness. He's quite young at the moment, so it's obvious that he will not be able to play 5 to 6 hours of matches against the likes of Djokovic and Nadal and Federer. And if even if he is fit, physically, mentally, it's too much. It's too taxing for him to play, at a good level for 4 to 5 hours. And it was evident yesterday. So I think these three things, if he is able to improve in the upcoming years, I think he will definitely be in top five because his game is good and he just needs to work on his fitness and a few other things. So probable ranking in top five in next 5 years, we can see him competing against the likes of Tsitsipas and Zverev for Grand Slam titles. Okay, so let's talk about the quarterfinal lineup. Now we all know, as we discussed before the tournament, I thought Zverev is in good form and he will be able to perform well. And we can see him now in quarterfinals. We have Tsitsipas, Djokovic, Nadal as well. So I would say Zverev should make it to the semis, although Fokina is playing well in this tournament. But I think Zverev's experience at this level will help him. And given that he's also in good form, he has beaten Nadal on clay recently. I think Zverev should win in that match. Then we have Tsitsipas versus Medvedev. I think Tsitsipas enjoys this surface better than Medvedev. He has a good game. He has also played well against Nadal, and Medvedev has admitted himself that he doesn't like to play on this surface that much, although we know that he gives his best all the time. But still, I think Tsitsipas should come up on top in that match. Then we have Djokovic versus Berrettini, and this will be an interesting match because I don't think Djokovic is playing that well uh, as per his standards, and Berrettini is playing well. So it will be interesting to see how Djokovic manages to turn around his form in a couple of days and how he's able to perform. I still think Djokovic should be able to win that match in 4 sets or 5 sets, but he'll definitely need to play better than he did against Musetti. And then we have Nadal versus Schwartzman. I think Nadal should win that match easily. Now, there is a difference in the conditions that would impact this match. We have Nadal versus Schwartzman. So we all know that Schwartzman height is not that much, and he tends to struggle on high bouncing balls, especially against Nadal. And if the match is played during the daytime, where the conditions are hot and the ball is bouncing really high, then it would be really difficult for Schwartzman to play aggressive, and that will play in the hands of Nadal. But if the conditions are night conditions, if it is cooler, then obviously I think Schwartzman will have a better chance to cause an upset. Although I don't think that will happen, but still I think Schwartzman would prefer to play during the night session. It will give him more chances to be aggressive and more chances to control the rallies, because the ball won't bounce that much and he'll be able to play aggressively. But I still think Nadal should be able to win that match, and as I have already predicted, I think Nadal versus Zverev is the potential final for me. But let's see what happens. So thank you guys for watching the video.